Actors of Reddit. What are some lesser-known drawbacks of acting? I'm going on stage in 30 seconds and I've never once looked at the script. Nightmares. Same format as exam nightmares. Just a different subject matter. I've been in this business 50 years and just had my best year ever. Got to play another corpse on Law and Order Face Up this time. And I almost got the infomercial role as man struggling with regular pot. Speaking as someone who does community theater, one of the drawbacks I've found is that you can get too attached to a character or a role, which can cause feelings of depression and being disconnected from yourself once the play ends. That's why it's important to de-roll afterward, especially if the role was intense or involved romantic elements. Basically, de-rolling is a process where you return to your true self, and involves a series of mental exercises and physical actions that you perform which enable you to cool down. Not an actor, but I work in professional theater full-time. I'd say the biggest drawback is relationships, or lack of them. I'm in my mid-30s and single. There's no way I'm going to meet anyone to settle down with when I move cities every week. Unless I meet someone at work. Then of course the show will end. So if I did meet anyone, we'd then both be off in other directions, working on different shows, in different locations. People with normal, Monday, Friday 9-to-5 jobs don't tend to want a partner who is away and on the move most of the time and don't understand the touring life. So most people end up with a partner within the industry who they will rarely see. It's at a point now where I feel like I'd have to give up my job that I love in order to meet anyone and have a proper relationship. Also, when I've been on tour for ages and come back home, tend to find friends in the hometown have moved on. My friends from shows are dotted around the world and constantly on the move, like I am, so they're hard to pin down and it can get kind of lonely. On shows you spend more time with the cast and crew than you do your own family or real life friends. Get really close, then boom, it's over. It's unlikely you'll see them again unless you coincidentally end up on the same show again. It's like starting life from scratch with every new show. Full-time actor here. The lack of financial security hurts. Some months, I might make $10,000. Other months, I make $800. Also, doing jobs for commercial clients that either don't know or can't tell you what they want, but have very strong opinions about how you're doing it. Check out the short, The Lion, on Vimeo to see what I'm talking about. The time and energy commitment. 5 or 6 nights a week for 6 or more weeks. Then kiss your weekends goodbye for a month. Then kiss all your new friends goodbye until the next show where you have to make all new friends. Good luck having any friends outside theater. The constant fear of not being good enough, and the anxiety that follows putting out your first, real, audition. I just graduated with my degree in theater back in May. Still haven't gotten up the guts to send out an audition anywhere. Scared of the rejection. Also the awful favoritism that happens in almost every theater. Educational institutions especially. The same people get the major roles every single show and it is always quote clear that they're the favorites. Your entire social circle is made up of highly skilled liars. That's not to say that they use the skill nefariously, but it's still there all the time. If you give a friend a gift, you have to know them intimately well to know if their sincere and compelling joy at receiving it is a real emotion or not. Being dressed for cold weather on a hot sound stage, being dressed for summer and shooting outdoors in winter. being followed to the toilet by a PA who is radioing your every move back to the floor, doing period dramas in authentic hired costumes that can't be washed, uncomfortable shoes, and often having to run in them. I love acting, but it's very hard to keep up with rehearsal schedules on top of work. My current job keeps me traveling 3 weeks of the month and I haven't been acting since before COVID. Also, there's a lot more leeway with casting, but there are still roles you'll never get to do because of age or build or voice. This was a very specific situation. But the lack of women on set. I was in a film 2 years ago and the ratio was 1 woman for every 5 men with both cast and crew. I'm sure it's a little different with bigger projects, but like many things, it's a very male-dominated industry. I could also tell that the producer, middle-aged white guy, thought I was just a pretty face who's too stupid to be anything else. I suppose that unless you're a Hollywood A-lister, or at least a household name, your income will be very sporadic and roles often difficult to come by. From the UK, not an actor, work in the movie industry from time to time. Basically being told what to do, and being lectured and belittled for not understanding what a director is trying to communicate to you. Also, having little to no say in how you will be portrayed by the character. An episode of Law and Order comes to mind where a character is in the military, but at some point photos turn of the guy wearing different women's lingerie, providing motive for a crime of whatever. What really struck me is that the actor had to turn up to the studio one day and dress in lingerie and have people take pictures of him. Then those pictures end up on a nationally syndicated television show. If you're cool with it, that's great for you. It's a living. No judgment. Doesn't hurt anyone. Just strange where things can take you.